Mitch, my family. We are here in Tiwanaku. Yesterday was a much different scene. Today there's a bunch of tourists walking around. Yesterday was rainy and cold, lightning going off, and we were here. As you can see behind me, there's the doorway of the staff bearer, and I didn't even know about that until I was researching where my highest told us where the next mission was. To everyone who jumped in yesterday and helped out, greatly appreciate. And we're going to now walk you around the entire perimeter of Tiwanaku. Then we're going to take you to Pumapunko, and from there we'll show you guys who couldn't be here what it's like.
Tiwanaku is a mystery because of its age, estimated to be 17,000 years if not older, and a peculiar stone technology at that. Today, there's little doubt that Tiwanaku was a major, sacred ceremonial center and focal point of a culture that spread across much of the region. The ancient people built a stone pyramid known as the Akapana. When first discovered, the pyramid was largely covered with soil. After several decades of excavation, some of the walls have been uncovered, and treasure hunters opened a depression in the top. This was built originally to open towards the east. Tiwanaku remains an integral locale in the religious lives of Andean people in the turbulent present of modern Bolivia. Although dozens of national and international projects began to unlock Tiwanaku's secrets during the last century, we are only recently beginning to piece together the puzzle behind the origin of its architectural marvel and the beings who built it. Settled in a Bolivian highland valley 13,000 feet above sea level, the broad altiplano of Tiwanaku is defined on three sides by mountain ranges and on fourth by Lake Titicaca. Approximately in the middle of the valley are a series of large mounds and small platforms, marking the center of the city of Tiwanaku, occupied approximately 500 to 950 AD. A dense scatter of ash and pottery and other artifacts is witness to the fact that a large population once lived around these monuments. For half a millennium, Tiwanaku artifacts, mostly religious in nature, were part of the southern Andes culture. By the time the Inca came to Tiwanaku around the middle of the 15th century, it had been abandoned for hundreds of years. But even in ruins, Tiwanaku posed a greater challenge to the Inca Empire than any of the indigenous groups it fought during its conquest. The Inca justification for an empire and rule was based on being the firstborn. They believed that before the Inca there were only darkness and savagery, but yet clearly here was a civilization far older than theirs and far more advanced. In a slight twist to mythic history, the ruins of Tiwanaku were turned from a potential liability into further proof of the divine nature of the Inca. It was here the Inca claimed that their creator deity Viracocha made the first people of the Andes from clay and then first Inca, whom he then sent to Cusco to found the empire. The silent monoliths were proof of Viracocha's creations. The first Spanish chroniclers were amazed by the size and antiquity of the structures at Tiwanaku, and for the next few centuries, a number of notable observers traveled to visit to a place what became known as the American Stonehenge, or the Baalbek of the New World. The bleak and seemingly inhospitable altiplano landscape led some to view Tiwanaku as an empty ceremonial center, a pilgrimage site with no permanent population. Of all the ruins in Central and South America, Tiwanaku has especially been a magnet for strange theories. In the early 20th century, Austrian astronomer H.S. Bellamy insisted that the metropolis was a result of one of Earth's former moons crashing furiously into the ground. It was considered absurd to think that a civilization could actually flourish as high as 13,000 feet above sea level. In the late 1960s, writer Erich von Däniken concluded from his research that aliens set up a base at Tiwanaku and erected the great monuments using their extraterrestrial technology. He used as evidence a bizarre biblical interpretation that the prophet Ezekiel had been abducted by these same cosmic beings. The intent was clear. What the Inca were to the Peruvians, Tiwanaku would be for the Bolivians. Several monuments were fully excavated and reconstructed to a state that may not have existed in the past. Almost every schoolchild and Bolivian national visits Tiwanaku at some point. The most remarkable monument in Tiwanaku is the Great Monolithic Gateway. Its position is indicated by the letter M in the plan. It now stands erect and is described as being in that position by every traveler, except D. Aborigine, who visited the ruins in 1833 and who said it had then fallen down. It will be seen that it has been broken, the natives say by lightning. After Team Light's visit to Tiwanaku, some things need to be brought to the world's attention. First, the orientation of the dig site looks suspect. Second, why were the French and Swiss the only countries allowed to access the dig site without a guide? Third, not only are the majority of stones missing, besides those taken by Spanish conquistadors to build the Catholic Church in La Paz, but it seems that no real effort to excavate Tiwanaku has been made since 2004. That being the case, what was found and what is being hidden from the public? As light workers, it is our job to set the record straight.
I was staying on the couch with my family. When we arrived yesterday, we were with a tour bus, and just want to give you a little example of what we had to do. We had to break away. We had to kind of sneak away from the tour and go do our own thing. We weren't allowed to be out here without a tour guide, but we did what we had to do, and we found ourselves out here. We started out in the center of the courtyard here, in the center of the arena, and we were getting mad dogged by some of the security guards as we were putting on our armor and setting up the cameras and getting ready. So we decided to move out to the perimeter. So this is actually where we did most of our work, on the outside of the perimeter here, on both sides of the gateway. As we were doing number 3, we started getting another security guard coming over here right in the middle of the ceremony, right in the middle of opening the gate activation, and he got into Ryan's face, was trying to tell him to stop, and Ryan was like, "Uno, tres momentos," and he was like, "What?" And then Ryan started talking in Star language, like cussing him out in Star language. And the guy was like, "What the hell did he just say?" And he had this look on his face, and he kind of backed away. And he was like, from here to here, kind of like letting him do his thing, and Ryan continued on.
And you can see the stonework here is amazing. And where we're going in Pumapunko, it's also very amazing. As you can see, to me, this reminds me of Sedona guys and my team. These to me resemble doors. There's things called plasma doors here on Plasma Earth. When you can hold a high enough vibration, you can cross. And all of these here remind me of energy pillars. That's all they remind me of, gates. All of those stones there. So maybe a little knowledge from the past brought to modern times, but that is what it directly reflects to me. Water back in the day was used, just like in Egypt, as a power source in a generator. The water would shoot down here and flow through, powering the structure. Yes, I remember. And I'm starting to remember how this thing was actually used. Yesterday, the interesting thing was that a lot of the stuff you guys are going to go through, and especially members on Team Light who are going through your activations and your training, it's kind of funny now when my higher self usually says before I get to a location, "Oh, there's only like 2 or 3 activations, no big deal." It's not till you get there that they go, "Yeah, there's 3 here and then 3 there." Why do they do that? Because they know you better than you know yourself. And they know that you might not want to go if you knew how much work it was. But I'm here to tell you that everything is worth it. This entire energetic 3D structure, 3D, right? But this energetic structure opens. And this being stepped out. that literally was a 15th dimensional plus consciousness, meaning that I felt like I was an ant. If I was full size, I would be like this dude's toes. That's how big of a being this was, especially in that perception. And for me in 3D, mind you, when I was staring at all the streams and all of us holding our structure, the main thing that is always tested, and I say this, is your heart. And I'm just very proud of my team, Ted and Jason, that through our training and how hard we've been working, and not only that, but us in 3D, but actually a testament to our higher selves and how hard everyone's been working, and all of our guidance and our angels and all of the divine beings that look upon us. Is a testament to how awesome they are and divine, that we actually not only handled our business, did it, got A+s across the board, but got home safe and did it as one.
Hi, I'm Asha, Team Light. And what happened yesterday was remarkable. It was a remarkable journey on my part. It started in January. I was told by Spirit I'm going to be reactivated, placed in the service. I didn't understand such language because I had many injuries. I was told, don't worry about it, you'll be taken care of. I was. And then when I felt I was ready, I talked to Michael, Archangel Michael, told him I'm ready for service. That's when Rion started jumping in my dreams. Never met the guy before. Then I met him and it was all good. We started training, and the training was crucial. It was hard, but it was necessary. And a lot of stuff I did my own as well, as far as clearing, emotional clearing, past life clearing, because I was told that where I'm going, this place, I cannot bring anything that is not of the light, because it would be exposed, and it would not be good. And glad to go through my test yesterday, where they tried to poke holes in me and doubt and fear, and apparently I passed. So I'm glad that we did well. We all did very well, and we had lots of help from above and beyond, and it was a wonderful experience. And for all those who could not be here, I'm glad that we can produce these videos in 3D so you can be here. Namaste and Lakash.
I just want to say, by the way, I'm Jason Styles. Everybody, thank you for your support, getting us out here and jumping out here with us, those that couldn't be here in 3D. Appreciate all your love and energy that you send out this way. Namaste and Lakash.
This place is very sacred. I really don't think that most of the people that come here and walk around actually understand what this place is. And I want you guys to understand, from our point of view as star seeds, this is a very sacred location here on planet Earth, one of the most sacred. And many of these places, we're about to take you over, once we finish this, over to Pumapunko. Very, very sacred sites, very old, very ancient. And a lot of that knowledge has been lost over time. And I just want you guys to understand that some of the things that I feel and some of the questions I've asked you, especially with the earth incarnates and star seeds, and some of the most simple questions were like these Bolivian people, which I've seen that are always happy. You know, I call them like happy earth incarnates. You know, and then some of the things that my star seeds we have to deal with is a little different. But to respect all life and know that we're all here together, and we're all here to share this place, and it's going to be. So, stay in my couch.